taking something silly of kind of the noble material, but it's more than that though. There's something else. What do you think of marble as being, not necessarily heroic, but what do you think of marble?
It's historically been used for noble, for monuments, for serious portraits.
And why do you use it?
Well, I like to kind of turn that on its head and make things that are either silly or you wonder why you spent all that work or making something totally permanent into something that has either no function, or what I'm trying to do is to make it have a function, but a function that's quite different than what you would have thought. Although it's interesting because I have found that with the first ping pong table I made, it actually plays much better on marble than it does on wood,
right.
Which makes me think that possibly the first, I don't know about the first ping pong table, but it plays better than on wood. It's just that not everybody can have a marble surface for their table.
But there's something else going on too, though. I mean, I can see it as a critique of the past use of marble. But I think you're trying to get at something else too. Something a little deeper than that even. Because it's not about, if it was about function is not just like making designer products of super value with a low function, like popular corporate function. There's something else going on.
I mean, I do like the idea of function. I like the idea that an artwork can be more than just something to look at. So when you can look at it and do something with it, it's like another dimension. It's like...
Okay, does that put in service to the game, or does that put it in, what's it in service to?
Well, that can be game, but it can also be furniture. I mean...
Okay, Scott Burton furniture sculptor, where he made sculpture furniture. See, I have a feeling for myself. I think if it's part of its function is to do that, then it's compromising its art part. But so I don't see your work as being like Scott Burton's.
But I'm not sure I agree with
sculpture.
that. I don't know why it should compromise it just because you could sit on it.
Well, because you have to make it to sit on. That's part of it. Right?
Yeah, so it just gives you another line to think about. It adds more to it. I mean, my favorite sculpture in the world is the two lions in Venice in Piazza San Marco on the left side of the church as you're looking at it. There's two lions sitting there. Right. And every kid who comes there sits on the lion, and it gives it this 1,000-year-old patina because everybody touches and uses it.
That's because of the human interaction, but those were never made to set on. That wasn't the purpose of the coming into being.
I suppose not.
Some languages, like a lot of Native American Indian languages, have the ness of things, like a tableness or chairness or something. When English, we don't have that kind of expression. But things can have, because if anything like 17 inches high is the height of a chair, and you can set on it. Or it can be the size of a bed, but that's not why. I mean, this is coming into existence for what reason? It's not to shoot down the high end of art. It's something else. I think you're talking. I think you're talking about a certain energy when you play. You're talking about a seriousness, letting go to a certain extent, to engage in a different level.
Right.
And that's not in service to ping pong. I mean, it's got something in common with ping pong. But it's not ping pong. There's something else going on. And I find it interesting. I mean, a lot of your, like the cartoon imagery. I mean, the early work when I first saw you working. I mean, I could tell it was kind of funky, like California, right? Jelly beans.
Yeah.
But there's something about popular culture and high culture that you're trying to resolve within yourself, because there's something about both. If you go to one, you leave something else, and go to other, you leave something else, right? So you're trying to reconcile not value systems, maybe it is. I'm not sure.